Good afternoon. My name is Scarlett, and if this is your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. Today I thought I'd try something different and explain a very annoying thought process that I tend to have that many others who I know, especially, may also end up having. The lack of motivation and issues of being able to maintain structure in your life, such as hobbies or, you know, being able to just keep a schedule for things. It started a while back. Have you ever, what's the word I'm looking for? Have you ever felt somewhat disappointed in your life? Have you ever felt like you've been somewhat let down in ways? You ever wanted to start a collection for something, but you kind of realized that back then, since you were a child, you tend to have to rely on your parents here and there to allow you to even have the opportunity of obtaining these things. No disrespect to your family, of course, because you can't always get what you want. I used to enjoy spending any amount of money I had obtained, be it from birthdays or Christmases, and instantly go to spend them on mostly video games, retro consoles, as at the time, that was the majority of things I enjoyed heavily. I tend to purchase retro devices as I have a special feeling towards them, unlike a lot of newer tech. Some people could possibly call that elitist, as, well, I don't genuinely believe that retro technology is better, but at the same time, I tend to have a pair of rose tinted glasses, so for me, I just feel more at home with not having to worry about each individual thing. Be it as that may, I used to buy things out of the idea that if I had failed to purchase them, well, I'd be really upset with myself. Especially if I spent the majority of my younger years wanting to obtain these things. It's like realizing something cool from your past is now finally readily available to you. But it also kind of just feels like when you buy them, they're just incredibly lackluster. It's like it isn't the same product you envisioned it to be. And trust me, as time goes on, this becomes a much bigger issue. I just hate things genuinely feeling so dreary. I had started many hobbies, especially as of recently, i.e., like anime collecting, manga collecting, comic books, Mobile Suit Gundam model kits, mostly things like retro video games and DVDs, as I tend to believe a lot in, owning your media. And it's not to say that I no longer enjoy them, but at the same time, when you have things for so long, it kind of feels like they just become clutter. I own a bit too much stuff, i.e., I own roughly 63 and counting Gundam model kits, and that's not to say I no longer enjoy them. I still really, really enjoy them. But the problem that I have is, how do I put it? A lot of them were impulse purchases, because at that time, that point in time, I never really was able to have any kind of hobby. I felt like I just didn't have many opportunities to purchase the things that I wanted. So the newest, slightest thing to come my way would have to basically be my new personality. This became a much bigger annoyance for me, personally. As you could probably guess, the boxes take up too much space, and they all kind of just get in the way. Not to say that I'm disappointed by the way they've come out or anything like that. I've always struggled with staying motivated and doing things. Mostly because of my ADHD, my attention span tends to dwindle a lot more than I'm willing to admit. And this can become very annoying, especially when it comes to doing household chores, such as cleaning or just keeping your room tidy. Things become a lot harder than a lot of people realize. And it's not to say that at some point you don't even want to clean the stuff up, because you do. You hate living the way that you do sometimes, but the problem always being you're screaming at yourself internally to hopefully allow yourself to get out there and do something. Maybe even exercise a little, but your body refuses to move. A lot of these problems can also not be dealt with easily, especially because of how pricey some hobbies can be. You don't want to stop doing them because you feel like over time you are already losing parts of yourself the less and less you start enjoying something. So realizing that you could possibly lose a hobby that you've enjoyed for years, suddenly just vanish, you want to be able to do what you can to keep it going. Of course, that doesn't really always work out well. You just don't want to lose yourself, especially in times where being unique is somewhat frowned upon, especially depending on who you ask. I would like to give you a little bit of advice. Of course, it isn't 100% guaranteed foolproof. It doesn't even always work on me. But sometimes it's best to think of what you're realistically getting out of something when you purchase it. This is more evident with a lot more smaller purchases. Maybe you want to grow a collection. Maybe you want to continue your current collections. Or maybe you're just purchasing things because you think that they are cool. I would recommend just not doing it. Try your hardest to resist. Of course, it's your own money. You can spend it however you wish. Of course, I'm not one to control you. You're allowed to have your own impulses and such. It's what makes us human, after all. But if you see something you really, really enjoy, try to think about it a lot more on the level of, what does this exactly do for me? If you're buying a toy, an action figure, maybe even just a whole bunch of books, you need to think to yourself, what do you plan to exactly do with it? Because with books, you can read them once and never again. You can feel satisfied. But at the same time, you may not feel satisfied because it's more of a one and done matter. You may not be exactly happy with the outcome of that. Especially with things like action figures and model kits. They're kind of a one and done deal as well. And for me, this becomes an issue because as much as I tend to say I'm a creative person, I struggle with a lot of my Gundam poses. So a lot of the time, they kind of just stand up. And as much as I would like to try painting them, I don't want to ruin them. Because a lot of these models aren't particularly easy to get a hold of. They're not rare by any means. But here in the UK, model kits are sold by usually one specific kind of retailer. Sometimes other stores have them, but they're always significantly upcharged. So it's really hard to actually want to continue doing things when you feel severely limited by the amount of money you may have, or, well, whatever stores in your country actually allow you to purchase these items. I hope you can at least try to make a difference for yourself, to better yourself. In other words, I would like you to try and understand yourself a lot more. Of course, it's not a good idea to just waste money, now is it? Why would anyone realistically just go out and spend money? Because you just have money. It's very easy to do. It's a very, very easy problem to cause. Which is why I would say that I would honestly just recommend waiting to see if there's something you like. And instead of, rushing to purchase something because it's rare or because someone says it's good, just do a bit more research into something. You don't want to lose a part of you, of course, but you also don't want to gain a negative part of you. These are just things that happen in life because we're human, and it's best that you don't waste any opportunity to just enjoy yourself, because you are allowed to do that. Nothing is stopping you. Either way, this has just been a random talk that I felt like it would be good to at least get off my chest and explain to some people. I understand everyone's different, and sometimes it's good to connect with people, even if it's through very, very slight means of just understanding. This has been Scarlet Diakit. I really appreciate you stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.